You're alone. Everyone has vanished from your life. The whole world has pulled away, silently, leaving you on the edge of everything. Maybe that's happening right now. And it might feel like you're breaking inside, as if you're falling into a bottomless pit. But what if I told you that this moment, as dark as it may seem, is the exact point where a profound transformation begins? Not a punishment, not an ending, but a calling. The universe, or something far greater than you, is pushing you inward, into a sacred space where the noise of the world fades, and something new can finally emerge. This solitude isn't absence. It's gestation. It's like a seed that needs the darkness to break through its shell. Like gold, which needs fire and solitude to shine. What you're going through right now may be the beginning of your true awakening. But only if you have the courage to listen to the silence. Many who find themselves in this state of apparent helplessness aren't the weak ones. On the contrary, they're often the most generous souls, those who gave so much of themselves that they became empty for the world. Souls who, in their abundance of giving, forgot to nourish their own source. And the Absolute, in its divine alchemy, watches. It doesn't punish. It orchestrates. It removes the distractions, one by one, like a master clearing the board for a new lesson. And why all of this? So that your unfiltered spirit, your true essence, can emerge with renewed purpose. It's a cosmic whisper that gently asks, who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when all the masks fall away, and all the roles dissolve? This stripping down, this removal of external anchors, emotional crutches, the mirrors that only reflected what the world expected of you. This is not loss. It's an awakening. A process of solutio, where the old dissolves so that the new may emerge. The deepest self cannot blossom in complacent comfort. It demands stillness. It yearns for emptiness. Have you ever noticed how certain people, certain situations, simply drift out of your life? Sometimes it happens abruptly, even painfully. We think it's abandonment, a rupture. But in truth, it may be the greatest liberation the cosmos could offer you. It's the universe, in its infinite wisdom, removing what stood between you and an unbreakable relationship. A relationship not with another human being, not with a concept or a material attachment, but with your own soul, with the primordial source of all that is. This solitude, this apparent isolation, acts like an obsidian mirror. It doesn't reflect what you want to see, but what you need to see. It reveals the cracks through which your light was leaking, the places where your identity was shaped not by your truth, but by the expectations and needs of others. It is a process of calcinatio, where the false is burned away to reveal the pure. This unveiling has one single purpose, to bring you back home, to your essence, to your most deep and uncompromising truth. Understanding that being left behind is actually a call to move forward. That is the first great key. It is the realization that you haven't been abandoned, but rather positioned for your next great initiation. Just like in the art of the alchemist, where raw material is exposed to heat for purification, you are being refined. Imagine fire meeting metal. There is no negotiation. There is no mercy. There is only the inevitability of the process. Everything that is false, everything impure, everything that is not your truest essence, is burned away. And what remains, what emerges from this crucible of transformation, is not bitterness, but a state of cleansing. A state of clarity that can only be reached when the layers of illusion fall from your eyes. This is the process of detachment. Detaching from the roles you played to please, from the expectations you carried that were never truly yours, from the attachments to people, places, and situations that, while comfortable, kept you from becoming who you were really meant to be. It's like peeling back layer after layer of wrapping until you find the true self, the one buried beneath survival strategies, fears, and external voices that became your own. Don't mistake hardship for punishment. Don't mistake pain for randomness. Every challenge, every loss, Every moment of anguish is a precise, intentional process. The Absolute doesn't act on whim. It operates through divine logic, an ars magna in motion, always aimed at your evolution. These trials are not meant to break you, but to clarify you, to strip away what is fragile and illusory, replacing the false sense of control with an unshakable stability that comes from within. Those who resist this burning may emerge with open wounds, perhaps with bitterness. But those who understand the sacred nature of this fire, my friends, they emerge transformed, carrying not just substance, but wisdom. Their scars are not marks of shame, but sacred symbols of passage, symbols of transcendence. They become like the lapis philosophorum, the philosopher's stone, dense with knowledge, radiant in their truth. And after the fire, after the refinement, comes one of the most powerful acts a human being can perform: surrender. But beware, surrender is not defeat. Never confuse the two. In the Hermetic path, surrendering to the All, the Creator of everything, is the highest degree of alignment. It is a posture of unwavering trust in the cosmic flow, a declaration of faith in a greater process that transcends our limited understanding. It means releasing control, letting go of the craving for outcomes. It's opening your hands from what you thought had to be, to allow divine grace to enter. Because true power, my friend, doesn't lie in brute force or in the relentless attempt to manipulate the world. True power lies in presence, in the ability to remain empty of resistance and, at the same time, full of a quiet certainty that everything will be okay. True power is moving with the flow of life, not against it. Surrender brings clarity, but not the clarity of having all the answers or knowing every step of the path. It's the clarity of being so deeply rooted in yourself, so connected to the source, that you can live without needing all the answers. It's the peace of knowing that the universe is working in your favor, even if you don't understand its methods. And it's in the cracks left by the fire, in the spaces exposed by surrender, that the divine spark reveals itself. The spark of the Absolute, a concept so sublime, so often misunderstood. It is not something you earn. It is not a reward for being good or perfect. It flows when you stop resisting, when you open yourself to the possibility that a greater force is moving through your life, regardless of your flaws or virtues. Grace does not demand perfection. On the contrary, it finds you in your imperfection, in your weakness, in your deepest grief. It does not judge. It simply fills. It is the balm that heals the wounds of the soul, the energy that carries you when your own strength runs out. Think of it as the mercury of the sages, the agent of transformation that permeates and unites the most disparate elements, bringing them into wholeness and healing. How many times have you tried to hide your flaws, your pain, your moments of vulnerability? How many times has shame stopped you from showing your scars? But grace operates in a paradoxical way. It transforms exactly what you were trying to conceal. Your failures, your grief, your moments of collapse, they are not your end. They are, in fact, the entry points into a divine architecture. They are the cracks through which the light of grace can enter and fill you, transforming what was once a source of shame into something that shines, something that allows others to feel seen and understood in their own journey. It is through these experiences that you become a beacon. Not because you are perfect, but because you were imperfect, and yet you found healing. It is in that space of vulnerability and surrender to the divine spark that true connection happens. You become a mirror for others, showing that it is possible to walk through hell and emerge not just intact, but more whole, more luminous. And then, the final phase begins, reconstruction. But not reconstruction in the old, fragile molds, reliant on the external. This is a rebuilding of your invisible scaffold, the architecture of your soul star. The lessons born of your deepest pain, your most deafening silence, your most courageous surrender, and the most tender grace become the bricks and beams of this new structure. It is inner work. Quiet. Often solitary and unnoticed by the outside world. While the noise out there carries on, you are, in your inner sanctuary, solidifying your spirit. Every fiber of your being is being strengthened, every connection to the source deepened. This is not a rushed process. It is the patience of a gardener waiting for the seed to sprout, the wisdom of a master who understands that true strength takes time to be forged. You are preparing to rise. And when you do, it will be unshakable. No longer seeking validation, no longer fearing the fall. Because the fall has already happened, and you learn to rise with the help of something far greater than yourself. The culmination of this journey is the formation of an unshakable architecture of identity. It is the quiet certainty of who you are, a calm confidence that needs no show. It is a presence that commands respect not because you demand it, but because you radiate it. You have nothing to prove. You simply are. You then become an anchor for others. Not through proselytizing, not through hollow speeches, but through the pure embodiment of what is possible. Your presence becomes a living testimony that healing is real, that transformation is not only possible but inevitable for those who dare to dive deep within themselves. You walk, then, not with the crowd, not seeking approval, but with nothing but the universe as your most faithful companion. And that, my friend, is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the true beginning of a life where solitude is no longer a burden, but the forge in which your greatest strength was shaped. It is the blossoming of your alchemical rose, the manifestation of your soul in its fullness, radiating your essence into the world. Think of your journey. Those moments when you felt most alone. Yes, they were the hardest. But they were also the ones that propelled you inward the most. It was in those moments that you were forced to confront what truly resides at your core. Alchemy teaches us that to transmute lead into gold, one must first dissolve, then purify, and finally coagulate. Your life is this very process. Isolation is solutio, refinement is calcinatio, surrender is the sublimatio of the will, and grace is the coniunctio with the divine. Reconstruction is coagulatio, the manifestation of your pure essence. If you find yourself at that threshold right now, know this: there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are in the midst of a sacred process. The Absolute is aligning the stars for your next great revelation. The question, then, is not if you will emerge, but how you will emerge. Will you resist the fire or surrender to its purification? Will you mourn what was lost, or embrace the freedom those losses brought? The power is in your hands, within you, and the invitation has been extended. What is your next step on this alchemical journey? What do you need to dissolve, purify, or coagulate in your life today so that your deepest truth can finally shine? If this message resonated with you, don't forget to leave a like, and share in the comments which phase of this inner alchemy you're currently experiencing. My name is Noah, and this was my offering.